Welcome to the skies above Edinburgh. This year it is the turn of the Royal Air Force to be the lead service of the Royal Edinburgh Military Tattoo, and they certainly know how to kick things off in style.
Providing a wonderful sight for the crowds here in the Castle Esplanade and the perfect start to the annual spectacular of military bands and performers from around the world.
Coming up tonight,
the amazing King's Colour Squadron, RAF, the Swiss Armed Forces Central Band, and His Majesty the King's Guard Band and Drill Team of Norway.
Plus, a fiery performance by the Trinidad and Tobago Defence Force Steel Orchestra. And for the first time ever, the US Air Force Band.
But before we pop off to the commentary box,
let the show begin.
Always the beating heart of the Royal Edinburgh Military Tattoo. The massed pipes and drums are made up of 9 different bands, both civilian and military.
The musicians are from all over the world and all ages. The youngest player here tonight is just 12 years old.
Pipes and drums now taking up the shape of a thistle.
Many of tonight's performers fulfilled duties at Queen Elizabeth II's funeral and King Charles III's coronation.
Yes, it was the Queen that actually gave the tattoo its royal title back in 2010. On its 60th anniversary. The current patron is the Princess Royal.
The theme of this year's tattoo is stories.
Yes, every performance tonight will tell a story through music, dance, precision drill and spectacular visuals.
Taking the salute here tonight is First Minister of Scotland, Humza Yousaf. It's a tattoo debut now for the United States Air Force Band based in Washington, D.C. Goes back to the World War II Army Air Force bands, one of which was led by the famous band leader Glenn Miller. And they'll be reminding us of his story by playing some of his most famous hits. Don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing. Don't mean a thing, all we got to do is sing. Hey! Well, they certainly made a great first impression here at the Tattoo. The United States Air Force Band putting on a very polished performance.
Can I borrow you guys as you come off the stage? That was, please, that was wonderful. I believe this is your first time in Scotland, is that right, Stacey?
It is, it's absolutely
How are you
right.
enjoying it so far?
This is such a beautiful country. I'm honored to be here. It's gorgeous.
Fantastic, thank you. Your role as the singing sergeant, tell me, what does it take to become a singing sergeant?
Well, to be a singing sergeant, there's a lot of study, a lot of school that happens, a lot of lessons, and then we do a national audition. You send in a tape, and if they like you, they invite you in to Washington, D.C. to do a live audition, which it took all day. I was there about 8 hours, actually. Many rounds of elimination, singing everything that I could think of.
Wow, I don't think I've got that in me. Sir, love the Glenn Miller tune.
Thank you so much.
How important is it to keep his legacy alive?
I think that is the sound of freedom for a lot of people across the world. Even today, they associate Glenn Miller with what the United States stands for, the best of America. And that's one of the things I really took into account when choosing the music for this.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for a wonderful performance, and thanks for taking the time to chat to me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Representing the lead service for the Tattoo this year, the RAF's King's Colour Squadron now take the opportunity to impress with a completely mesmerising display of precision drill.
This is being conducted without commands. It's down to individuals' timing and taking their cues from the music.
In fact, the squadron also holds the world record for completing nearly 3 million foot and rifle drill movements in 23 hours and 55 minutes without a word of command.
Corporal, we'll start with yourself. That was such a clean performance, such precision, all done in silence. How long does it take to learn that?
A show like that we've been practicing for the last 3 or 4 months or so, on and off, but really focused on over the last 2 months to produce a show to try that.
Sir, it is very important to remember with this as well that ultimately you guys have got an operational role.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. This is not your day job.
That's right, yeah. So we're with the King's Colour Squadron. We're also numbered as 63 Squadron RAF Regiment. So we have a deployed role as the force protection to protect the Royal Air Force. So namely we do counter-UAS, counter-drone effectively in our operational role, in addition to all of our other sort of combat and force protection commitments. And then you'll have seen us over the last couple of years with all the main sort of state and ceremonial activity that's taken place, and now culminating in this for the whole month of August at the Royal Edinburgh Military Tattoo.
Amazing. Well, keep it up, guys.
Cheers, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
The Tattoo Dancers, choreographed by dance director and world champion Highland dancer Aileen Robertson.
There are 48 dancers out there. Many of these dancers are world champions in their own right.
Now, last year, the tattoo featured a very clever costume trick, so let's see what they've got in store tonight.
They have certainly delivered in impressive fashion on the costume front. Lights and costumes coming together to create quite a spectacle.
spectacular. Quick steps, quick feet, and a quick change.
This is the Trinidad and Tobago Defence Force Steel Orchestra, the only marching steel orchestra in the world.
Now, they're telling a traditional story of darkness into light. The darkness represents the history of Trinidad and Tobago, which is lightened by the masquerading of traditional characters who we're about to see.
The woman in the white costume is the washerwoman.
And here comes the midnight robber in the black costume who has links to West African storytelling.
He's joined by Dame Lorraine, the umbrella lady, in her fantastical, very colourful costume.
And at the heart of it all, the King Sailor and the King Fire Sailor up on stilts. Quite remarkable as well, because it's breezy out there. And, well, there's a little bit of a tilt that comes from the castle down this esplanade.
As you can see, the Blue Devil has run on. He is a fire breather in this incredible, fun, energetic performance. And here we go with the limbo. How low can you go? Well, turns out very low indeed.
That hurts my knees and my back just watching that. And now, bringing the beauty of the nation and people of Trinidad and Tobago. The Butterflies complete the ensemble.
The TNT formation created, of course, for Trinidad and Tobago. The energy and fun of the carnival, absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, they really brought the sunshine to a somewhat wet Edinburgh evening.
Jamal, Samantha, you've just come off and you were up on stilts there, Jamal.
Yes,
on the slope of the Esplanade. Is that not quite difficult?
It's not that difficult due to the level of experience I had in the past 20 years. And I'm quite familiar with the weather because I was part of the Royal Edinburgh Military Tattoo in 2019.
So, easy out there. Easy. You make it look easy.
Thank you, thank you.
And it might sound a bit odd considering we've just seen some incredible limboing, but you've really raised the bar, haven't you? How much fun is it to perform out there?
Yeah, it's fun to be out there with the raising the bar. You know, I just bring the energy from the crowd. I feed off the crowd a lot. So, you know, the energy level on top one must be on point.
Amazing. And Samantha, you're performing with the steel drum. How long have you been playing the drum for?
Over 20 years.
So it takes a lot of practice to get to that level, to be that good?
Yes.
And what is the energy like out on the Esplanade? Is it enjoyable to be here in Edinburgh Castle?
It's amazing to be here. It gives a good warmth being here.
And how does Trinidad and Tobago compare to being here in the cobbles of Edinburgh?
Edinburgh is cold.
Time for a taste of Switzerland, the Swiss Armed Forces Central Band. Are going to be telling the story of the legendary Swiss folk hero, William Tell.
There he is now, with his crossbow and arrow.
Those are traditional Alp horns. Low-frequency sound travels better through valleys, so they were used to call cattle from pastures into barns for milking, and apparently it pacified them too.
Well, famous, of course, because legend has it he was forced to shoot an apple from his son's head with an arrow.
The shape of a crossbow and arrow being formed before our very eyes. And there's that apple.
What a shot. Switching to a car theme now, including Angle Grinders, a dedication to the Swiss artist Yellow, and their song The Race.
Aldo, Sandro, that was incredible. And look, I've dressed to join the band. What do you think?
That's great.
I'm in.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah.
But after 20 years as musical director, this is your last tattoo.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Yeah, what should I say? It's really an emotional moment for me, but I couldn't imagine a better place or a better occasion to retire as a conductor of this fantastic orchestra.
And what's so special about performing at the Edinburgh Military Tattoo?
Not for nothing, Edinburgh is the biggest and the best tattoo all over the world, and for me it's really it was a big pleasure, and I'm really proud and thrilled to be a part of this fantastic show and cast.
Well, you should be proud because it was a spectacular performance, and the Alpine horn is incredible. I mean, it's absolutely massive.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah.
How much training and practice does it take to be able to play one of these?
Actually, all of our Alphorn players, they are trumpet players, and the Alphorn is quite similar.
It must be quite difficult to travel with, though. How do you pack it?
Like, there's segments over here, and then we can split it apart into 3 pieces, so it's all right.
So you don't have to travel in a full, the full instrument?
Yeah, no, that wouldn't be possible
You
at
wouldn't
all.
be able to make it. Guys, thank you so much for speaking to us, and a big congratulations on a fantastic 20 years.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
A beautifully reflective piece now, The Light of Tuscany, performed by a fiddler who in 2018 was inducted into the Scottish Traditional Music Hall of Fame, Margaret Robertson, and danced by Rosie Watt and Keris Jones.
Oh my goodness, you look spectacular. Keris and Rosie, thank you so much for chatting. Now, you have just danced as a two rather than being on with the whole team. How does that feel?
I think it's pretty amazing. It's definitely a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I didn't think we expected to be the only two plus Margaret on the Esplanade.
Is it more difficult as a two?
It's a little scary just before we go on, but we soak up every minute of the adrenaline, and we're together and we smile and we keep each other going. It's amazing.
It looks absolutely beautiful, but when you are dancing to the faster beat, you're dancing at 130 beats a minute when you're on as a full team. How do you keep up that pace?
Well, I think we train really hard and we just have to go with it. That's how we're trained.
And you're on again very soon as well, so we're going to have to let you go off. Costume change ahead of you?
Yes, a quick change and then we're back on.
Magic Girls, well, thank you so much for chatting to us. We'll
Thank
head off
you.
and
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
mass pipes and drums have returned. And they've now formed up in the shape of a ship's wheel. Joining now, the tattoo dancers, and they've switched to their traditional costumes.
The skills of playing the pipes and traditional Highland dance are so intertwined that bagpipers learn dance as part of their training. This helps them understand how the way they play impacts the dance. Just before our next act, a brief trip to Edinburgh Zoo. Home to the Colonel-in-Chief of our next performers, His Majesty the King of Norway's Guard Band and Drill Team. In a tradition that goes back to 1972, the mascot of the Guard and Band has been a king penguin called Nils Olav, who was recently promoted to Major General. He's actually the third king penguin to carry the name, and as you can see, whenever the Guard Band and Drill Team are in town, he takes the salute like a real pro.
He did in fact climb his way up through the ranks. He was a corporal back in 1982.
Back here at the castle though, and we can enjoy a display of precision drill. It's a real crowd pleaser of this year's tattoo.
Wow. As if that wasn't impressive enough, remember, most of these performers are conscripts, and they will be returning to civilian life after this tattoo.
A nod to Norwegian favourites there with the famous sounds of Aha.
Please, come in, grab a microphone.
Thank you.
Tell me, I mean, you're conscripted into the Norwegian military.
Yeah.
Did you ever think within that sort of national service picture that you'd be part of the Edinburgh tattoo?
Absolutely not. I didn't really have a plan for the military. I didn't really know what I was getting into, but it has been a very pleasant surprise. And we've been doing so many fun missions, and I'm very happy to be a part of it.
Wow. I mean, what are you making of this whole experience?
It really is one of the wonders of the world. So being here on the Esplanade for the Norwegian King's Guard is like coming home. It's our 11th time being here, so I'm really happy for the whole unit that we're back here and on the Esplanade.
This is part of national service. What is that memory like that you sort of carry on for the rest of your days, that you were part of something like this?
Well, I can recall in 2012 I was here myself as a conscripted soldier, so I mean I've lived off those in 10 years, just that experience. It really is mind-blowing, and you don't really fathom the greatness of standing beside allies on the Esplanade doing one of the world's greatest shows with so many talented people, and we're all amateurs standing beside professional musicians, so it really is great.
Wow. Well, for amateurs, you make it look very easy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Time for a Highland rave now. It's the return of the electro pipes, where bagpipes meet electro beats. And the costumes are as fun and energy-filled as the music. Out of sight, but definitely not out of mind. Many of tonight's performances, including this one, are accompanied by 20 musicians playing live down by the castle drawbridge.
A dazzling display and finished off with quite a sparkling exit.
What a belter. The massed military bands now, with the Royal Air Force Central Band, the Band of the Royal Air Force Regiment, with musicians from the Band of the Royal Auxiliary Air Force, and His Majesty's Royal Marines Band, Scotland. The RAF Central Band was formed in 1920 and was the first military band to perform on the BBC in 1922. Gamers watching may recognise some of the tunes, as there is a video game theme. The Guard of Honour is led by Flight Lieutenant James Hudson from the King's Colour Squadron, RAF.
Guard of Honour, General Salute, presents arms. Shoulder arms. Stand at ease. Stand easy.
Time to welcome back the whole cast of this incredible show. Over 800 performers making their way onto the Edinburgh Castle Esplanade.
Yes, each act is wonderful in its own right, but there is nothing quite like the sum of the parts of the Royal Edinburgh Military Tattoo.
There are stories I've heard told of an unfamiliar road where an evening sun hangs gold in the skyline. In a quiet unknown town, there is solace to be found in the unforsaken hours of the twilight. There's a girl and I can see her far away from this frontier. Skies reach out for miles. I want to feel the breeze of the Hebrides on the far side of the world. On an evening in July, neath the red lock harbour sky, she smiled and closed her eyes on my shoulder. Now I'm a million miles from home, from the girl I call my own, and I'm dreaming all alone, just a hold. As I look into the water, I see her standing at the altar. And I want to dance with a Highland girl, where the skies reach out for miles. I want to feel the breeze of the Hebrides on the far side of the world. 'Cause I want to dance with a Highland girl, where the skies reach out for miles. I want to feel the breeze of the Hebrides on the far side of the world. Nail your colors to the mast in the footsteps of the past, and when you breathe your last, life's returning. For when the sun sets all the years, all the miles and all the tears, a world away from here, it's the morning. In my mind I see her smile, where the tide lines grace the eye. Skies reach out for miles. I wanna feel the breeze of the Hebrides on the far side of the world. Look, I wanna dance with a Highland girl, where the skies reach out for miles. I wanna feel the breeze of the Hebrides on the far side of the world. Cause I wanna dance with a Highland girl, where the skies reach out for miles. I wanna feel the breeze of the Hebrides on the far side of the world. To wanna dance with a Highland girl, where the skies reach out for miles. I wanna feel the breeze of the Hebrides on the far side of the world.
The drummers there reflecting on the origins of the word tattoo from the Dutch and Belgium phrase dodem tapto. Turn off the taps and return to barracks.
Well, you're in for a real treat now with a wonderful interpretation of Runrig's The Story.
It's a song about happy memories of summers past and future hope.
And I'm still dreaming of the Hebrides, and I'm still leaning on the early years, and I can't help feeling it will always be the story of the life inside of me. And I'm still dreaming of the Hebrides, and I'm still leaning on the early years, and I can't help feeling it will always be the story of the life inside of me. Of the Hebrides, and I'm still leaning on the early years, and I can't help feeling it will always be the story of the life inside of me.
Poignant and perfect. Senior Pipe Major Colin Simpson, the Lone Piper. A highlight for many fans of the tattoo around the world.
Sir, that was beautiful. To be the Lone Piper, it's fairly exposing, not least that you're up on the ramparts. What is it like to perform up there?
It's pretty scary up on the ramparts. You know, you're up there on your own. You're looking down. You can see the whole cast, all the audience, and watching. And then the spotlight comes on you, and then you're just in darkness and get through the tune.
Am I right in saying even the weather can sort of affect how the bagpipes are going to sound?
Oh yeah, 100%. You know, they're a pretty temperamental instrument. So yeah, just finding the right time when you're at the top to kind of get a quick tune before you head up.
Well, thank you, sir. It was beautiful as ever.
And now for the grand spectacle of the final march-off.
Well, that draws to a close an annual treat and another triumph for Michael Braithwaite, the creative director, and the whole tattoo team.
Yeah, it really has been magnificent. Thank you for joining JJ and I in celebrating what I hope you agree has been a fantastic Royal Edinburgh military tattoo. Good night.
Good night.